Hello and welcome to my advanced writing course. The course in Korean is Kulgup Younga Jagmun, and I'm not sure what the official English name is. It's either Advanced English Composition or Writing. Either way, this is a more focus on academic writing and academic English, more so than other classes. And I'm Professor Kent Lee. And if you've had my classes before, maybe you know my Lee is different. As you can see, I'm not Chinese or Korean. In my case, Lee is an Old English name. It's not actually an Old English word. You can find it in the dictionary. It used to be a common word in English. It means wind-protected side, like of a mountain. It's an Old Anglo-Saxon or Old English word. My ancestors, came from England to the U.S. Hundreds of years ago. It's an Anglo-Saxon, British-American name. And there are two sections of this class. My contact information is here in the syllabus. Gmail is probably better. There's also, Kently 7. I use 7, the Kently 7 for various email and social media platforms. Kently was taken, and so I went with 7 because I like math and certain mathematical reasons. And there's a Kently 7 plus E at Gmail, and that's for sending assignments. That plus E is a little Gmail trick that sends things to a particular folder in my Gmail for this class. So again, the focus is on academic English and types of academic writing. Mostly this is for juniors and seniors. In social sciences, like linguistics is a social science. Humanities, so you may be into literature. Or culture studies like American studies or European studies, or media studies like film. You may be into business English, studying business too, and all of that's cool. You might be from a different major, different department, and that's all cool. And actually that's good because your different perspectives will be good for this class. Because we're going to be learning not only about writing, but why writing is like that in your particular field. Why do literature people write in a certain way? Why do linguists write in a certain way? And the focus of this is maybe more academic, professional English, including preparing for graduate school, or if you're going to do technical writing in your job, or professional writing, or things like that. The format, this is mostly Zoom classes. Now this session is a video lecture. Most often the first day of class is going over the syllabus, the Kangi Gehik, and course policies, so I'm just doing a video recording for today. Next class will probably be in Zoom. Most classes will be in Zoom. From time to time, or sometimes maybe I'll have other video lectures, recorded video lectures, especially around holidays or week 15, maybe things like that. So we'll do Zoom classes a lot, and it's hard to do writing online, a writing class online. So in Zoom, we'll do a lot of group discussions. I do group discussions in my class a lot anyway. And we'll maybe have a shared Google document that I'll share with you for sharing questions and for you to maybe, in groups, to write your thoughts, your comments, or your answers in, so we can all see, kind of a shared Google Doc shared with the whole class for us to collaborate on, to work together. So we'll do a lot of group discussions, maybe assignments in class based on those discussions, as well as homework based on those discussions. So it's important to come to class. So the book, I don't like most writing books. I will make my own. I've actually got my own. I'm going to upload it into the LMS soon. So the first week of class in the LMS, I will upload the book, my course book, as a free PDF. I can't really make you go to a print shop and buy it this semester, so I'll make it available for free through the LMS in PDF format. Probably also Google Doc. Class website, I have a class website we will use sometimes. And sometimes you will need to bring sample text. So like, say, if you're into literature, if literature is what you like, I'm going to ask you to bring some academic papers that have been published by literature scholars to class. Or if you like linguistics, bring a linguistics paper or a linguistics research paper that's been published by a linguistics researcher. Or whatever field you're in, I'm going to ask you to bring those to class sometimes to discuss, because we're going to look at actual published academic writing and look at what they do and discuss what they do and compare, because it's different between different fields, and it's those differences that are interesting. Tentative schedule. This is tentative. It can and will change. What I have here, the revised syllabus, Kangikehik, is going to be in the LMS, so you need to get the revised one. Not what's in the Sugang or course registration site. That's old. I've changed things quite a bit. So we'll start with course intro, talk about your writing process and writing strategies, reflecting on your own writing this week and next week. Then we're going to look at a few sample articles and start talking about sources and structure of essays. Then we're going to get into talking about different academic fields and the style of writing in different academic fields. And so we're going to be looking at published research essays or research papers by scholars in whatever field you're interested in. You're going to be analyzing those and then writing a paper about that. And that's going to lead to the midterm paper, where you're basically looking at published papers by scholars in a field that you're interested in and talking about, well, how do people write in the field? You're writing a paper about writing. And then we'll get more into more detailed stuff in the second half of the semester: essay structure, arguments, citing sources, types, using sources. And then we're going to get into professional writing. So, for example, writing documents to prepare for a job, to find a job. And again, this is an English academic writing course, so we're going to focus more on English or Western style resumes and cover letters, job application documents, like if you want to apply for an international company, especially a better international company, as well as academic job applications, applying for academic jobs and academic positions, and also applying for graduate school. So some documents that you might write for graduate school and documents you might write while you are in graduate school. Master's, Soksa, and PhD, Baksa programs, and what that's like. Finally, some style issues and such. Now, the last half of the semester has a lot of holidays and stuff. I'm not sure how that's going to work, so some of this can change. For example, there's a spring festival listed here. I don't know how that's going to happen with the another coronavirus semester. I can't wait for this thing to end. Gosh. Grades and stuff and assignments. Attendance is part of your grade. I will check attendance. Last semester, I used Zoom, tried to use Zoom to check attendance, having people sign in with their ID numbers. That became a nightmare to deal with because it was so unmanageable. Collecting student IDs through the Zoom chat and then comparing them with IDs to see who, the matches, and in a spreadsheet for, 30 class days for 100 students for 6 classes. It was awful for me. I don't want to do that again. So I like to use Google Forms. If you've had my classes in the past, I like to use Google Form-based assignments, or you do short assignments in Google Forms. I'm going to do that this semester for various homework assignments and also for attendance checks. So for homework assignments, you might write a paragraph, or you might do a Google Form. For Google Forms and other minor assignments, it's like each assignment is worth maybe 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 points or 30 points. And at the end of the semester, add up the total points and your actual scores and convert it to a 100-point score to calculate grades. This semester, I'm adding an extra kind of Google Form assignment. It's called a daily poll. And I used this a couple of years ago in a class, and it worked really well. So I'm going to do it this semester in this class. So days we have Zoom sessions. At some point in the class, I'll say, okay, here's your daily poll question. I'll send you a link to Google Form, fill out an online form, 1 or 2 questions, quick 5 points, submit it, and that way I can check your attendance for that day. So we'll probably do that to check attendance. So daily polls are part of the regular assignments. They're also attendance checks. So for various minor assignments, Google Forms, and maybe short paragraph assignments. Again, I'll add up the points, and that'll be like your homework or minor assignment grade for the semester. But also attendance check. So there's an attendance score. So basically, starting off with 100, and there are deductions for days that if you miss more than 2 days, unexcused absences, or other things, if it seems like you're not really there during the Zoom sessions. I mean, you're logged in, but it doesn't seem like you're really there participating. I may deduct your attendance score. And grading, of course, in this class will be stricter than in other classes because this is more of an advanced academic course. It's kind of a junior, senior, third or fourth year level class. So grading will be stricter than in my other classes. Got attendance, minor assignments, sometimes shorter essay assignments, kind of short 1 or 2 page essays about certain topics. So there's more detail in here about the various assignments and grading and other policies. You should look at this on your own and read this on your own. So there are probably 2 to 4 short essay assignments in this class, and then a midterm and final. And the midterm and final are going to be related, probably. Probably the final essay is going to be a revision of your midterm, which will be about the genre analysis unit. So genre analysis is, you're writing about the writing of, in your particular field. You're writing an essay about how people write in a particular area, like, linguistics research or literature research or whatever you like. So the midterm will be about that, and then the final will be revising the midterm, and after we talk about sources and other details. Another short essay assignment will probably be like writing resumes and job application samples, at least for Western companies, international companies, and such. So those are the main assignments. Turning in assignments, most things will be through the LMS. There's some other stuff in here that you should read. When you turn in assignments, it should be in a standard format that I can open, like LibreOffice, Microsoft Word, Google Doc, PDF, standard format like that. If it's an HWP file or Hangul Word file, I probably can't open that on my computer because I don't use Windows. I use Linux and such, so you should be a universal or standard format. Other policies you should read in there, things like late assignments, there may be penalties, begging for better grades, no, plagiarizing, committing plagiarism. There's a special kind of place, a special punishment for people who plagiarize. Don't get caught plagiarizing, or don't do plagiarism, copying other people's ideas and information and not citing, copying other people's words, not citing sources, using information that should be cited where you give credit to somebody for their information or ideas or their words. Otherwise, professional behavior. Look at the various things. Zoom etiquette. Log into Zoom before class starts. Like if it starts at 9 o'clock, be logged in before 9 o'clock. If it starts at 12 o'clock, be logged in before 12 o'clock. Enter with your audio muted. Turn your audio on when you want to speak, either to me or to people in your group, in your Zoom groups. Keep your video on so we can see you, and stay there unless you have to take short breaks. Try to dress like you would normally dress for normal class. You don't have to dress fancy, but don't wear your pajamas unless you really just woke up. And I say this because in the past couple of semesters, some people have done video assignments in my class wearing their pajamas, and that just, would you go to a business meeting in pajamas? Or I hope not. There's some other policies in here you should read. Contacting me, the best way is email. Although sometimes I'm a bit slow because I'm taking care of my 6-year-old boy who's really cute and really active, or I go to bed early because I'm on an early morning schedule. Yeah, kind of sad. I don't like mornings. Bring your coffee to class, snacks, that's fine. I don't mind. College, you're adults. Bring your coffee and snacks, whatever you need to stay awake, that's fine. Your first assignment will be a Google form or ask basic information about you. Even if you took my classes before, you should fill that out again. So I've updated information about you. So it's got some survey questions. I'm gonna sometimes do surveys or take or use some information for research purposes. When it comes to grading homework assignments, if it's a Google form, I grade based on effort, not just accuracy, but also how much effort you put into it. And some things, like the first assignment is kind of a survey form, or I ask you some questions about yourself. Sometimes I might use things like that for research purposes. If you don't want your information being used, that's no problem. You can opt out. You can choose not to have it used, and that's fine. That doesn't affect your grade, because I grade based on your effort and quality of your answers. If you don't want your data used, that's fine. I'll have enough data anyway, don't worry, for my linguistics research. The first chapter of my book is basically the syllabus. The second chapter is some general tips and resources, including technology tips. You should look at that, read that. I've changed it this semester, so do look at that. And if you have questions, post them in the comments in the LMS space. If you have a question, someone else might have the same question, so please post your questions this week, and I'll try to answer them. I try to check LMS like once or twice a day at least, or more, as well as email. Post your questions there. Be on the lookout for announcements during the first week of the semester. A link to the PDF version of my book. The Zoom link, a permanent Zoom link for all of our class sessions for the semester. So one link for every class session. I'll post that in the LMS this week before next class. Next class will be Zoom. Majority of classes will be Zoom. I will also post this revised syllabus in the LMS, and then a link to your first assignment, which is a Google form assignment, the survey assignment. We will ask you basic information about yourself, some email addresses I can use to contact you, and some survey questions for my own fun and research purposes, but they relate also to your next assignments. The second week of the semester, we'll start talking about writing strategies, and I might ask you to think between now and next week about your writing strategies. I might send you some questions or have you look at something in the book and discuss. If not, we'll at least be discussing it in class this week or next week. So post your questions in the LMS space, comment space, and I look forward to seeing you and getting to know you, although it's quite constrained by the Zoom format, but I look forward to getting to know you electronically, and I hope you have a good semester, and I hope you enjoy this class. This is kind of a harder class than other classes, I should warn you, but I hope you get something out of it. So that is it for today, for now. So take care, and I look forward to seeing you in the next class. Okay, goodbye.